guy was like, let's see if you are a virgin. How do you see a virgin? How do you even see a virgin? So I said, okay, let's see, I'm a virgin. So Elisha started doing shakara downstairs. The next thing I know, Elisha disvirgined me. And then I went home. I was not myself, and I was just confused. I was like, what happened? Because I didn't understand it. And then I got home. I quickly went into the shower and blah, blah. And my mom could see that I was not okay. She said, what is wrong? I was like, no, I'm okay. I went into my room and I slept and I started rewinding. What happened? What happened? Because I was in pain. I couldn't walk properly. When you're a virgin now. I didn't tell anybody about this man dismantling my virginity. I kept it as a secret to myself. Then now it was holiday time. I started falling sick, my head, having nausea, my head, my feet. And then my ears started turning white. And then everything was just, and then my boobs started growing big like this. Very big. Like jelly babies. Me, I didn't understand what was going on with me. I said, what is this transformation? Things were just growing. I'm becoming lighter. I'm now just spitting. I don't understand what is going on. And that time, we used to go and get water we had one bowl in Budiro, so everybody would go there and queue there for water. So one day, my mother sent me to go and get water. So I took a bucket of water. Then on my way going to fetch water, I fell down. It was now the holiday. Dismantling my virginity. That guy dismantled. And when he dismantled my virginity, later on, we started doing it. We started doing it gradually. I was liking it. I was even going by myself to say, let's do that one you did last time. Because now it was sweet. It was nice. So me, myself, I would sneak and go there. It was now a routine. I was like, hey, this is sweet. I was now enjoying it. But later on, I fell sick. Then things started happening. Then when I was on my way to get water, I fell with a bucket of water. And as you know, my mother is a prayer warrior. She thought, oh, maybe I've been bewitched. She started speaking in tongues. Praying for me. Oh, rakasanda rakaba shandala kaba. Oh, rikashandelebo. Me, I was busy wiggling on the floor like this. Like I've got demons. Not knowing it was pregnancy. Then people were called, my relatives, we don't know. She just fell and she started crying and this and that. Someone said, take her to the doctor. So I went, our family doctor was Dr. Market at that time. He was in Glenview 3 by the shops. So we went there. Me, my mother, and my sister Faith. We got there at the doctor's. I don't know anything. Now I don't even know what is pregnancy. I'm just thinking this is a spiritual attack. Then when we got to Dr. Marketa was looking at me like this. Was looking at me like this. Was looking at my chin like this. Was looking at my breast like this. Dr. Marketa was just like... Then Dr. Marketa said, go and urinate. We want to test your wee-wee, your blood, everything. So they took some blood samples and then they said, go and urinate. And then they took everything. My mother was there sitting and my sister. So they told us to wait a couple of minutes. And then we waited. Then later on, we were called into the doctor's office. We went there. And then the doctor looked at my mother. And then the doctor looked at my sister. And then the doctor looked at me, and the doctor smiled like this. And then the doctor said to my mother, "Congratulations, you are going to be a grandmother." Hey! My mother from nowhere, she just giddy from the chair, she fainted. Me, I looked at my mother. I looked at my sister. I also went giddy from my chair. I fainted. My sister was now crying, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. There was commotion in the doctor's office. And then I woke up and I said, "What is going on?" The doctor said, "You are pregnant." And then my mother woke up as well and said, "What is going on?" I said, "Your daughter is pregnant." My mother went again, fainted for the second time. Are you serious? What are you saying? What are you telling me? Your way, my way. What am I going to say? Church, you know my mother, she's a church woman. Every time she thinks about church. I am an elder. What am I going to tell people? Me, I'm just looking at myself like this. Me, pregnant. My sister is like, you see? You see? You see? So the priest said, calm down, everybody. It's not like it's the end of the world. The doctor asked, who impregnated you? I looked at my mother. I looked at my sister. I said, it's Elisha. It's Elisha. And then the doctor was like, no, you don't need to shout at her. Take her home. I mean, call the guy and organize, you know. You have to actually just accept the reality. I said, okay. So we went back home. My mother, she was just, Yewe, mwana wandinyadzisa. Yewe, baba wako wanoti kudini. Yewe, zvakadai. Yewe, zvikadini. And then I was so scared. I was very scared. I called. We used to have a landline that time at home. So I called Elisha. Because my mother said, call the guy. So I called him. They also used to have a landline at their house. I called him. Said hello. I said hello. Dave. It's like, you okay? I'm not okay. So what's wrong? I said, I'm pregnant. Hey! By just mentioning I'm pregnant, Elisha dropped the call like this. I said, no! He dropped the call. Then my mother was like, you are going there tonight. We have to wait for your father. So my dad used to work. That time he was working at the UNHCR. He was a driver. So he came back home, and then my mother told her, oh, she's pregnant and whatnot. And then my dad was like, you are going to your husband's house. I don't want to see you here. Call the aunts and whatnot. So my auntie was called. My auntie, she's late now. Her name is My William. May her soul rest in peace. They called My William. Oh, mana ne mimba, this and that. My William came, big aunt. And then that night I slept in my parents' bedroom because they were afraid that I was going to run away because I was stressed. So I slept on the floor whilst my mom and dad was on the bed because they were guiding me. I wanted to run away. So the next morning we woke up. My mother rushed to town, brought my tennis, a Zambia, a big dress like this, a tie and dye, and a duku, and a couple of things. And then she gave my aunt and said, you can go with her. So me and my aunt and my sisters, off we go to Glenview 3. It was in the evening. Then I got there. Elisha is not there, but the mother was there and the brother was there. So the brother knew me. The brother's name is Succeed. The brother knew me because he used to see me every day when I was coming for Pum Pum. So he knew me very well. So when they saw me, at first when we got there, we sat outside. And when we sat outside, you know, this whole culture thing and whatnot. Sat outside. It was cold. We sat outside, I think, for an hour. Then later on, Succeed came and said, no, come in the house. You don't have to sit outside, blah, 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 blah. So we went in, then we sat. Then my auntie was like, pano tiri kutsvagawo Elisha akakanganisa mwana ana wedu ari kutane pamuviri pa Elisha. And the mom knew me as well because she used to see me here and there. So the mother was like, no, Elisha is not here. But we know this girl. And then the brother was like, Elisha Popanapa. The name of the brother is Succeed. But we know this lady. We know very well. You are welcome. You are welcome. Put your bags. You know Elisha's room already. You know, because I know the room. I knew the room. It was right here on the right turn like this. Because like, pick your bags. Just go there and sleep. Elisha is not here, but we know you. So they accepted me. Then I slept there. Elisha was not there. And then my auntie went back home to tell my parents that, no, they've accepted her. Then so automatically, I was now a Murora. Then it was around 2 a.m. Then I saw Elisha, boom, enters the room. Because I couldn't sleep. I was just thinking, now I'm a wife. I'm someone's wife, you know. Then he came around 2. I don't know wherever he was coming from. Then he came and he opened the room. Then he looked at me. Then I looked at him. Then I said, so I'm now your wife. So we can do as many times as we want. So we started doing. Because I was the wife, we did. And then I now waking up in the morning, sweeping as a Murora. I was told to wake up at 4 o'clock. I'll be up like this. Me, I was not lazy. I was a very hardworking Murora. I woke up and I'm sweeping, you know, early in the morning so that they can see that, no, this one has got energy. Sweeping. I knocked in my Amone's bedroom. I said, do you have laundry? I need to wash. I'm doing this. I was excited for this Elisha guy. He was handsome, that guy. So I started staying with this Elisha guy. But now, this Elisha guy now was a player. Because remember, he was very handsome. So he had his girlfriend called Belinda. I think Belinda is the wife now as we speak. I don't know if they are still together. Because after me, he started staying with this Belinda. So, there were times he used to sleep outside, not staying at home. Me, I'll be just myself and my mother-in-law. And then my mother-in-law loved me so much. She loved me because I was hardworking. Me, I wash everybody's laundry like this. There used to be these young kids, Vazukuru, you know. Now, Elisha's dad was also a player. He would impregnate everybody, even housemaids. So he had his little kids. You know, these little kids which were just dropped from time to time. Oh, you know, it was like a family thing, a family of players. So those Vazukurus now, they were now mine. Go this, go that. So I would watch for everybody. Watch for everybody. And there was Auntie Maggie, Elisha's sister. So Auntie Maggie also would bring, everybody would bring laundry. I would wash. It's like I was a washing machine, doing everything. House chores, cooking. I was very energetic. You know, I passed all these Murora things. I was not a lazy Murora. And now I won the hearts of Elisha's relatives. But his heart, I didn't win it. Because this guy, this guy was a razor blade. Too many women in his life. As the pregnancy was growing, the love was fading. Because this guy was not faithful. He would do kululu, kalala. He would do these things. But then the mother would always tell me, Murora Shinga. That's what men do. Look at your Tejara. Your Tejara is impregnating the whole neighborhood. But I'm still here. Because I love him. You see, I'm old like this. But your Tejara is just like Elisha. He took it from the father. So don't worry. You are going to stay here. You are going to live with me. Sometimes my Amwene will be very angry. He would even beat Elisha with a goat like this. Why are you treating your wife like this? She was very angry because she loved me. But you know, sometimes you can stay in a marriage where you are not loved by the person who's supposed to love you. A marriage where you are just loved by relatives, but the real person won't be interested in you. So that was my situation. Elisha did not love me, but his relatives did. And I could see that, no, there is no love here. I'm just here for his relatives, but not for him. He would treat me anyhow. He would go and sleep out. He would do this. He would do that. And at that time, he impregnated one of my... She was not really a friend, but someone I knew. Yet I was still at his house. So you see, this guy was just something. As much as I loved him, he didn't love me the same way I loved him, you know. So I told my mom about it. I was like, no, I'm just staying there, but this man doesn't really love me. My mother was like, you have to stay. You have to give birth there. Eventually, maybe it's the pregnancy which is making you guys to be fighting. You will be okay. But I could see that I'm just staying for the relatives. It's like waro wahama. So as time went on, I was there at Elisha's place. That's where Felicia, the name, came from, because we took Eli from Elisha and Listas from my name. And then we came up with Felicia. So Felicia is a combination of Elisha and Felistas. So I gave birth. And when I gave birth, that was the end of my marriage. I went back home. I started staying at home with my parents. I started taking care of my daughter, Felicia. She was very pretty. And even my mother-in-law would come see me, even my aunt, Auntie Maggie. Up to now, we're still tight like that. The relatives, they loved me, but he never loved me. So I couldn't stay. I couldn't stay. It was like it's a mistake getting pregnant for this guy. So I understood that no, there was no proper love, and it's time I move. So I moved and I started staying with my parents, taking care of my baby, raising my child. And I went and applied for maintenance. I just wanted to fill you in. This is not what I want to talk about, but just so that you get what I'm trying to say, where I'm coming from. So I went and I applied for maintenance. And then Elisha didn't want to take care of Felicia. We would fight each time I would go to the police. It was really draining, claiming maintenance for somebody who's not interested in your child. But his mom would come and see the baby, the aunts, the brothers. Everybody loved Felicia. It was so draining. Fighting for maintenance, going to the police, fighting. And then later on, soon after I left, he impregnated this Belinda. So he started staying with Belinda and stuff. And then for me now, I'm going to the police, going to his house, fighting for maintenance. It was so draining until I gave up. I gave up. I said, you know what? Let me leave this person. It's not worth it fighting. This person is not interested in me, does not want to take care of my baby, does not want nothing. So let me just leave him. So I left. I started taking care of my daughter on my own. I said for a while, I never wanted to date. Later on, I stayed for a while without a boyfriend, without a man. I was busy focusing, and I wanted to go back to school because, remember, my dad wanted me to be a lawyer. I was very intelligent, very, very intelligent. So my dad wanted me to be a lawyer. So I was now considering going back to school and continuing while I had a baby. Then boom, I met Tapiwa. Taps was a church boy. That is Baba Titi. He was a church boy, and we used to go together. We used to go to the same church together. That was AFM, Apostolic Faith Mission. So I started going to church, and that's when I met Brother Taps. Brother Taps was in praise and worship. And, you know, he would sing. And each time, also me, I was a singer. So we started dating from church and stuff. And then, whilst we were dating, the other time he came to see me in the evening at my house in Budiro, because Taps used to stay, I think, just a couple of houses away from our own house. So we used to just date people from the same hood. So one day, Brother Taps came to see me at my parents' house. So when he came to see me at my parents' house, Brother Taps, you know, back in the days, your boyfriend will come and then whistle, and then you come out, and then, you know, you start graphing and naffering each other outside the gate. So Brother Taps came and went. So then I came out, you know, and then we started fondling and kissing. Little did I know that my brother, Emmanuel, was actually sneaking on us. He was actually seeing everything. So when he saw Brother Taps smooching my breast like this and kissing me, he was like, hey, what are you doing? And so both of us, we panicked. And then my brother was like, I'm going to tell mom. I tried by all means to convince, please don't tell mom, because I didn't want mom to know, since I had failed my first marriage and I was at home. So now that my little brother knows that I'm having an affair with this church brother, straight the next morning he told mom, you see this, your daughter, she's busy smooching with Brother Taps. My mother is like, Brother Taps from Praise and Worship. She's like, yes. So you know my mother. The next day she calls Taps, come to my house. And I told him, there's fire on the mountain. My mother wants to see you. So Brother Taps now came. And then my mother sat him down. It's like, mwana wangu imvana, Brother Taps. Mwana wangu imvana, and you know, utane mwana, imimi muri brother weku church, muri kuya muchibata mwana, muchitodana ne mwana kuseri kwe gedi, musuwe Sunday moya moti pinza mweya, muchishibisa church, ndinonyarira pai, apa mwana wangu munoza uti imvana. Then Brother Taps was like, you know, I really don't care whether mwana wangu imvana. I love her. Because Brother Taps didn't have a child that time. He was still a boy. And, you know, he was still partly, I think he was a virgin. But Brother Taps back then, he didn't know how to do pum-pum. So we would just kiss, and then we won't do anything. It was just kissing and touching breasts. Me, I was now experienced in this pum-pum business. So sometimes I will even show him where to touch. You know, when you are experienced. So Brother Taps was an amateur when it comes to love things. So Brother Taps was like, Mama, me, I love your daughter. And I don't care whether she's got a baby. I love her. And I'm sorry that I've been coming and smooshing her here and doing all these things. But I really love your daughter. And by the grace of God, I want to marry her in the future. This and that. So my mother was like, are you serious? Because my daughter is Mvana. Brother Taps was like, no. It is well, mom. It doesn't matter. Even if she's Mvana, she's still young. Boss, that time I think 21. Brother Taps was 22. Boss, Brother Taps was 1985. Me, I'm 1986. So he was a year older. So my mother was like, oh, if you say you want her, who am I to say no? But all I want to say is, my children, you should pray about it. You know, my mother is a Christian. Everything you put in the hands of God. And also, you know, take it one step at a time. The moment you said so, I said, thank you. I just wanted an approval. So now, my parents had approved. Now, Brother Taps didn't have to come and stay out of the Jura. Now, he was coming at my house. Fair. He would come inside. Then we would be given, come in my room, you know, because my mother was like, I know. She now knew that Brother Taps is serious, is on a serious note. So now I started teaching Brother Taps how to hit pum-pum. You know, because he was an amateur. I said, listen, now that my parents have approved, I want to teach you how to hit pum-pum, you know, teach you elderly things. You know, I'm an elder when it comes to these things. You remember I was once married. So now, first day, I went to Brother Taps' house. And then we got in his room. And then the mother was not there. That time, his mother used to go to Zambia. And she didn't know yet that, oh, Brother Taps is dating this Mvana. So we're just the two of us. I said, Brother Taps, I want to teach you, you know, over 18 things. No, under 18. Today, we are not just going to kiss and smooch. We are taking it further. Brother Taps was a bit scared. It's like, I don't think I'm ready. I said, you will be ready, Brother Taps. You have to be ready. You can't just smooch me and leave me at 3/4 length. You have to do the whole process. So we started kissing. Brother Taps started smooching. Brother Taps now had an erection like this. I said, Chai, I see. I then sat on top of Brother Taps like this. Oh, I gave him back to back. Brother Taps was now praying in tongues. I said, yes, this is how you do it. Oh, he prayed in tongues. From there, Brother Taps was like, no, this woman, I'm going to marry you. From that time, he said, I'm going to marry you tomorrow. In fact, I'm marrying you now. You know, so it started to be an ongoing thing. Even on Sundays, we would run away from church, just going to bless each other at Brother Taps' home. We're now doing it anyway, anyhow. After church, he would run away. Even after church, Brother Taps, he would just look at me like this in church and say, so that sign would mean we are going out. So I'll start going out before him. Then he will spend a few minutes in church. Then later on, he would follow. Then we would go and bless each other. It became a routine. Brother Taps was going mad. Crazy. He was crazy in love. So then, Brother Taps' mother started suspecting. This man, what is going on? Then Brother Taps sat his mother down. He said, you know, mwana memrata uyandipengisa. Ndukuda kurora. Hey! And then the mother was like, what? Brother Taps, how do you want to marry Mvana? Yakaita kunge mwana memrata uya. Brother Taps was like, Mvana iyo ndo yanda kutoda. The mother didn't like the idea. The mother started shouting on top of the roof, watara, 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 watara. I don't want to see you with that woman. But because I taught him sweet things, this brother was no longer the same. He was like, if you can kill me, that woman, I will marry her. You know, that's how he loved me, this brother. This brother went crazy for me. He said, I'm going to marry her whether I like it or not. The mother was like, over my dead body. This one was like, over your alive body, I will marry. This mother was like, only when I'm dead, you going to accept it. People started, you know, trying to influence him. You see, this woman, she's got a child already. You are just a boy. Brother Taps was like, I'm not a boy. I am ready to marry this woman. It was World War II. In my hood, you know, people from my hood, they know this story. So now that the mother now knew that, okay, now the son is going Kwangwara with me, she started giving me an attitude. You know, every time she saw me, she would give me an attitude. She even warned me, I don't want you near my son. I said, it's too late, Mama. Your son, the way he is now experienced, through my own experience, he's a lie. It was like World War II. The mother would cry, take off the clothes. I don't want to see this woman here. I don't want to see this. Taps was like, accept it. It is what it is. Brother Taps now was working at his sister's workplace. The place was called Jabez Trading. This boy now, the way he went crazy with me, he started saving money for Aurora. He saved his own money. Then he was like, I'm going to marry you in December. I said, yes, of course. Why not? Brother Taps told his relatives, I'm going to marry. And the mother didn't want, but what can she do? I drove that guy crazy. He wouldn't listen to anybody that time. Brother Taps now came and married me, you know. And then after marrying me, he was like, no, I don't want her to come as yet. I want to wed. I'm telling you, the mother was like, are you crazy? What is so special about this Mvana that you want to put a white gown? What's so special about her? People was like, no, she's special. She will wear that white gown. She walked down the aisle because the mother just wanted him to marry and bring me home without mchato. So him was like, no, this one she will chatter. So now, said, no, I'm not taking my wife now. I'm coming, we'll chatter in May. And then now, we started doing my steps. And you know, the mother, people would like, no, you have to accept it. It is what it is. So now, you can't even say no because see, your son is going crazy. Do you want to lose your son because you don't want his son's wife? No, you can't. You have to accept it.